Okay, all right. I think it's time to get started for a new live video for my Stephie's talk show. So like always, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, bonjour, buenos dias, guten morgen, bon dia, ohayo gozaimasu. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you are watching Stephie's talk show. I'm Steph. Welcome. Okay, so for this today's video, I have a bunch of things that I would like to share. I have a bunch of things that I want to talk about. And I have decided actually to start and open the videos by responding to a few questions that I have seen on my social media, mostly because obviously Stephie's talk show is very recent. I'm just getting started. And I know a bunch of you knows me already. I quite have some followers on Instagram, on Facebook as well. But there is another part of you who don't. So, first of all, I'm doing this show talking to investors, talking to big dreamers, talking to aspiring entrepreneurs, actual entrepreneurs, and everybody is actually dreaming big, going after their goals and just trying to achieve their goal, mostly their success goal. So I'm going to start with the first question, which is, who am I and what do I do? So basically, I see myself pretty much as a free spirit, but my whole life I've been traveling and working all around the world, and literally all around the world, absolutely zero time off, from the Europe where I'm from Paris, France, right? From the Europe, going to Italy, Spain, the UK, where I'm based right now. From Asia to Africa to the Latin America, where I am currently in Panama, exactly. From America, from North America. I even went into the Arctic and Antarctica. Just so you understand, I have absolutely zero limits. And what do? I basically started as an international entertainer and speaker and presenter. I also did modeling. I also been Miss Power Woman France. So I do a little bit of beauty pageants, and I'm going way back here, right? I know I might not look like that, but I'm going back like in my 20s. So yes, you got it. I'm not in my 20s right now. But yes, yeah, that's how I started. And then step by step, starting my own business as actually a mindset coach, a motivational speaker, and also a entrepreneur coach. For me, everything starts from the mindset, obviously. Basically, you have something in mind, everything starts from there, and then you got to translate what is in your mind to actually actions and make it physical and make it real. It doesn't matter what is it that you try to follow. It's your responsibility to make it happen. It's your responsibility to protect as well your dream and your goal. And it's your responsibility to achieve success. That's mainly, I would say, what I can say about myself. So for the new joiners, for new people who wants to understand who's Stephie Benji. That's how I like to call myself, Steph. Who's she? Where's she from? And what is this about? So now, this week I have another interesting question coming from a young girl. She's actually a friend of my little sister, who was asking me, she has already from foundation has been an international worker, mostly specialized in teaching. She's French, obviously, and she teaches French to others around the world. She's been in Vietnam. She's been in Europe as well. She's been mostly in Asia, between Asia and Europe, based on the information she shared with me. And basically, she asked me how she can actually, found some sort of stability as being an international worker, and how she can actually source those international opportunities. Because basically, like I said, I personally source my own opportunity my whole life. And I'm not much of the, I'm not much into the safetiness and the comfort of just doing the same thing constantly. I like adventure. I like, a little bit of freestyle, definitely a lot of freedom. So I put together a few tools. Believe it or not, it might not sound like, it might sound obvious, but believe it or not, I got few of those people who will be asking me this type of question. And literally from the very beginning, I mean, if you are looking for international opportunities, whether it's to be able to work remotely or to work in another country than where you're from and born, it all starts with your CV, and your CV has to be in English, right? Unless it's specifically unless you really I'm always open to pushing boundaries, yeah? So unless you're going for a country like, for example, Japan, and they are open to international profile, but everything is in Japanese, for example. Okay, so unless you are actually speaking the languages, you can go and put on your CV in Japanese, so you talk directly to the job owner, directly to the point. I'm going to come back to the communication skills that you need to put on your CV. But yeah, everything starts from there. Your CV needs to be in English. It sounds very basic, but literally it's real. It's actually real. I get those CVs. You're asking me for international opportunities, and the CVs are in French or Italian or Spanish. When, you're applying for a new country, for outside of your languages, so it has to be in English. Second point, highlight your key international assets. Okay, so in your CVs, it has to come across like you are actually international. Okay. I'm going to stay on the example that I had in terms of my lady who is an international French teacher. Okay. So you got to put on your CV those skills: languages, international teaching, country where you've been teaching. So if you teach in Spain, Puerto Rico, Ecuador, San Francisco, whatever, that should be like the spotlight on your CV. All right. It has to, I like personally, not all the time though, because it depends on the position you're applying for, but I like to have very nice design. And if you have to be international, with some little icons on the top right hand, whatever, of the CV, where you can have a little glob, a little thing that sounds and look international, right? So now I'm going to the communication skills that you have to apply to your CV. This is a little bit of, the influencer skills, how to influence your opponent in terms of your potential employer and make it feel like you are the right profile through your CV. So which is just actually giving you access to actually get an interview. Use specific words. In the same example of my lady being a French teacher, for example, who's trying to apply in Vietnam. Screen the company. Check what's out the profile. It's kind of like doing a little bit of market research. Digging. You're digging into it. Market research. Here we go. This company is doing this. This company is doing this. So if it's for example, okay, it's a primary school, whatever. Try to use a mirror, like the mirror trick. Whatever the company words used, try to put on some of them, fill in, how do you say that? Put them inside of your CV, in your job descriptions, and everything. Once again, use just this mirror trick. That's my trick, I would say. In your CV, you have to just put yourself in the position of the person who is actually putting on the job offer. They're looking for a specific profile, and those profiles has to be reflecting what they are actually looking for their company. So not everything's about you. But if you want this job, you have to understand who is your opponent right here. You have to understand who is this company and potential employer. So when they see you and when they see your CV specifically, they know you're the right one, or at least you make them believe that you are the right one, at least. Now I put on together a little list of platforms where you can source international opportunities, international jobs. Depending, once again, this is just a general list, but once again, it all depends on the country and everything. But let's talk Americans, Europeans most of the time. You are trying to source a job overseas, obviously number one, and that's also my personal experience. Many of my opportunities, many of my job offers, and of high quality, by the way, of definitely things that I personally interested in and wants to pursue, coming from LinkedIn. LinkedIn for me is the platform, the number one platform, personally. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying everybody should follow what I'm saying right here. What I'm saying is, based on my experience, LinkedIn is a very good place to start. And I like it because you just go, you gotta put the keywords on the job that you're looking for, and you just go for worldwide, and it's here worldwide, and you just have all the countries now are using your keywords in terms of the job offer that you're looking for. Number two will be Indeed worldwide. So to be honest with you, yes, it's the number two. Now I don't found it as effective as LinkedIn, but it does work. So once again, it depends. And then once again, it's a little bit of determination and keep on pushing it. So you actually get what you want and found what you want. Number three, Glassdoor. This one I'm not going to say I'm not using it, but to be honest with you, probably 3%. Or 3% I'm using it. But once again, it's also depending on the country where you're from. In Europe, I would say LinkedIn and Indeed are number ones, are the top ones. Glassdoor, I think in some country, it does work too. Based on your culture. Yeah, that's something as well when you are an international person, take in consideration. Just like, for example, in Europe, we communicate a lot using WhatsApp, okay? Which is not the same in Asia, for example, who's mostly using Viber, for example. So yeah. This kind of tricks that you gotta know, but the only way you know it is by actually traveling, right? Is by actually just go there and try and observe and learn and experience. And that's my vibe. That's what I do. And I put a number 4 just in case, because I think it's an interesting one, and I did use it too, which is goabroad.com. Goabroad.com is mostly interesting if you are young or free of any attachments, I would say. So you can do internship, which means not necessarily paid, but you can find internship and build experience, which gonna lead then to paid jobs, right? Go abroad is a lot of internship, a lot of things where, maybe just seasonal for summer or something less, I would say, promising in terms of job offers. But to be honest with you, in the whole process, if you have a long-term goal, in the whole process, the more you can build your experience and the more you actually get a long-term job that you want, overseas. So that's it I think, for this part in terms of top international platforms, advisors, and how can you source international jobs offers. And this is for those who are looking for jobs, but obviously, what I would like to add now is if you have this entrepreneur spirit, basically it doesn't matter where you are. If you are entrepreneur spirit, know how to use digital tools, you can actually work anywhere without any needs for specific job sourcing, because you are the job sourcing. You are yourself the one who's building up platform and jobs for others. Okay, so now I want to go to my personal experience regarding Panama, where I am right now, what I am experiencing, what I am observing, what I am seeing happening or not happening. I apologize. It's specifically concerning entrepreneurs. So, I've been in Panama for 1 month now. I feel like it's a very much oriented entrepreneur country. I got this vibe every day, 24 hours. And most of my friends obviously are expatriate, but a lot of them are just people who either left their job to start a business in Panama, or just carry on building up new jobs. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs. And Panama is definitely a good country for that, which leads me to just compare to others entrepreneur-friendly cities, countries in the world, because Panama obviously is a good country for that, but it still has some work to do in terms of the competitions that are out there. So I put together, if you look at the top five countries who are entrepreneur-friendly with more efficiencies than Panama, obviously. We start with the United States. Yes, we still with the United States, and it's still number one. I mean, the American dream. I don't think we can change that for now. Actually, I can't say in the next 5 years, but that's another subject. Yes, United States remain number one, and then you got Singapore, which I experienced too. I've been to Singapore. I worked in Singapore. I love Singapore. A big love for Singapore. Too small for me. I'm like this kind of girl, like in big cities. But yes, Singapore is number two, very much entrepreneur friendly. Sweden, number three. I haven't experienced Sweden personally, but I know that in the European areas and North Europe, this is a country that is actually very open as well for entrepreneurs. Then we have Canada. I am personally married to Canada. When I say married to Canada, I mean, I have a big love for Canada for sure, because some of the person that I love the most in my life is from there. And I spend a lot of time in Canada. Entrepreneur friendly, yes. But it's number four, and I do see why. I can source the reason why, because I feel like there's still a little bit, and it's still Canada. Huge country, a lot of space, but they still need workers. They need hands. They need people in Canada. And I feel like even if they have more and more and more people coming, either those people doesn't stay, or they're still in the need. So something is not necessarily quite fixed yet there. And number five is Estonia. Estonia, obviously, because Europe. That's it. I don't have much to add about Estonia. It's very European friendly and European entrepreneurs friendly. Must LA. So yeah, to go back to Panama, strong potential in terms of, you want to change your life, you want to just jump into something wild and crazy and new, and you want to build something. Yes, Panama, let's go jump. I would definitely support you in this direction. If you're ever interested in you telling me, okay, Steph, I want to start a new business in Panama, or I want to move my business to Panama. And I do know. And I do know how, and I do know who to talk to and how to figure things out. So the thing with Panama is there is this sort of freedom. You get less regulation on a lot of things. However, I think the biggest deal is the administration part. Panama does not appear in that any group. And instead, they align more with the middle tiers country, not strong enough for the top five, but not amongst the list friendly. So, in my vision, I would say my way of seeing things is because my background, I have a Caribbean background, right? Even though I'm French, raised in Paris. If you like the kind of laid back style that we have a lot in Latin America, that's the kind of entrepreneurship vibes that you're going to get here with Panama. In between the laid back, but also in between the mess, the mess of the city life, kinda, okay? Panama has potential, big potentials. You can build something interesting here, and there is less competitions, I would say. Whether if you are into entertainment, nightlife style, There is opportunity in Panama, I believe. There's opportunity in real estate. There is opportunities in finance. There is opportunities even in logistics. Though it's the very big logistic hub, well known all around the world. But there is potential if you are in this industry as well. That's why I'm saying Panama has potential. They still have to work. They still have to do a lot of work regarding to administrative part, including banks. But if you know the right person, you're fine. I mean, you need to know the right person, I guess. That's mostly how I see it. Okay. I think for today I'm good. I'm good, for the video of today. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were watching Stephie's talk show. I look forward to see you next Saturday. Yeah, I will be live every Saturday at noon Central America time. And even if you are not here live, I invite you to just subscribe to my YouTube channel. The videos are going to be posted here, and I will try again, keep pushing in terms of giving you more tips in terms of international investments opportunities mostly, and international entrepreneurship and international businesses. What does the world has to offer? It's as simple as that. That's what I'm passionate about. And that's why I go around the world. You're going to see, I'm going to invite interesting people from different backgrounds, from CEOs to leaders of around the world, to share their experience, share their stories, share a bunch of, stories, personal stories and personal experience. So you know what? You don't feel like lost. And if you have questions, obviously, leave some comments. Let's go. Let's do it together. Okay. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. This is Steph. Thank you for watching. Bye.